Hello watch lovers, you know what time it is. Welcome to episode 3 of That Watch Guy London, Don't Take the Fake. This week we're going to be chatting all about the luxury watch market and the fakes that are out there. So many people I come across have no idea how to spot the difference, so today I thought let's share some little knowledge that we have learned over the years. Joining me today from the BQW offices is Claire and Lisa.
Hi.
How you doing, girls?
Good.
So, Claire, how long is it you've worked for me now?
It's been 12 years now.
Never.
Yeah, it's been
How
12 years.
can it be 12 years?
I know, I can't believe I put up with you that long.
I can't be that bad then, can I?
No, definitely not that bad.
Claire, tell everyone what you do at BQ.
So I will generally take care of inquiries in regards to selling watches, buying watches, repairs, and just general questions that members of the public might have.
So, Lisa, tell the viewers what it is you do with us at BQ.
Okay, I have many jobs, mostly paying people for their watches, paying suppliers, but also all the paperwork that you don't want to do, that you pile up on my desk, which I don't mind.
So today we're going to talk about fakes. Now this is a topic that many people go on about, and we get a call every week. Every day someone asks us about a fake watch or send something in, and when we reply that the watch is fake, they will often say, how do you know, like, can I not come along? And there's so much that we can tell from pictures and photographs when we know a fake watch. I mean, Claire, in the shops, we used to get it in the shops and the pawnbrokers the whole time, and it still continues. And so many people, when we tell someone that there's a fake watch, they will always say, how do you know? It can't be. It was my grandfather's, or it was left to me, or it was a gift. I mean, Claire, the stories are endless, are they not?
Yeah. Also, coming across people who have parted with their hard-earned money, believing they're buying something that's genuine, and then, sending us a picture or sending us the watch, and then we have to be the bearer of bad news and tell them that it's not something that's worth any money. Yeah.
Well, we see them, they will often send the box, the pictures, and sometimes from the quality. I mean, anything can be fake now. I mean, we've bought quite a few pieces along today to show the viewers, but from Omegas or Cartiers, even obscure pieces, but they're also prototypes of watches we've never seen before that people go, no, it must be genuine. I mean, what I find very upsetting is when someone's passed away and they're left the watch and they believed for a long period that the watch is a genuine piece. Go ahead, you tell some of the viewers some of what we've had over time.
I mean, we've had everything from the most ridiculous looking fake that's obvious, or the really good, everything about it seems genuine until you open up the back of the watch. Really good fakes out there. Some come with boxes, even papers, really good copies
and some
of papers.
where the movement's fake and the case is genuine.
Yeah,
or
we've seen that.
The movement's been
times.
stripped out. All of these things. But I find it is upsetting to tell someone when they've owned a watch for a long period that, sorry, it's not genuine.
Yeah,
or it's been handed down over years.
Yeah, I mean, you generally can tell the sorts of people who are trying to get away with it, or the people that are genuinely believe that what they have is a genuine piece.
But the thousands of pieces out there, I mean, tens of thousands. I mean, we know what we get in every single week, where a day doesn't go by without someone sending something, because people just believe that a watch, if it's got the name Rolex or Omega or Panerai, it's genuine, especially when it's put in a good box. And this is the thing, sometimes you have fake watches in a real box, fake watches with real cards, real booklets, all dressed up to be right, and other times you have just natural. I mean, the giveaways are when something doesn't have anything with it, but it's the steel ones more than anything. The gold looks the wrong colour, or dial looks the wrong colour. It's steel where you can see where people do get duped. I mean, I believe we got a Daytona that we bought here that was very, very good. So here we are. We're going to show you all the fakes. Now, these have come over a number of years. I won't lie, we bought some of these, but the majority here have been left by customers who didn't want them returned. So girls, let's go. Bring out the fakes. Show us what we have.
There's a lot.
Wow.
I've got all the Rolex ones.
So Claire, imagine all those were real. So if we just show you all guys. So we've got a selection here of Breitlings, Rolex, Amigas, IWC, and we'll just show you here a selection of different things and why they are. Claire, why don't you start with some of your some prototypes.
Look
I
at
believe,
that.
see that piece there? That was sold to us as a prototype. So with the one there, this customer thought that he was given something that was totally unique. It was a prototype out the factory. It's something like a 65 mil. I mean, Claire, if you turn that from, it's just ridiculous that someone thought that they had something very unique, and it's just ridiculous. But here we have a number of other pieces, Claire. We've got Datejust. I mean, that there, in fairness, is a very, very good Daytona fake. That is exceptional. But some of the things to look at, Claire, as I'm sure you're aware, the screws, if the viewers can see that, the screws on the bracelet. I'm always asked, how do you know? Rolexes are extremely expensive pieces, and the machining that goes into them is exceptional. When you look and the quality is poor, when you look at the dial and it looks poor, it generally is. And the other thing, some of these here, there is a distinct smell of metal. They're very poor quality. Not that you want to smell all of these, but that's something that we notice. With the gold, if you pull out a few of the gold ones, the colours are wrong, the dials are wrong. It's just, there are some that are very obvious, but there are people here who definitely would have been conned by a number of these pieces. I mean, I think there, Claire, we've got the Milgauss. Where's the Datejust? Yachtmaster. I mean, literally, there's nothing that isn't faked. And this is where, when we moved on to some of the other pieces, if we go to an Amiga, you think, why would someone fake a £2,000 Amiga or a Cartier? But they would. I mean, we here have got a selection of, from Chanel's, Rados, Panerai, Breitling, Amigas, IWC. There's a selection from everything here. Here we have a Hublot, and again, the thing that stands out, when there are pieces missing, you often find with fakes that the bracelet breaks or there's a screw missing. This is the first obvious thing. Also, if you turn the side there, the button on that, Claire, the buttons are always poor, and we often see on a lot of these watches the back of the watch. The back of the watch is often the telltale. It's just the poor quality on that piece. So here we have 3 Breitlings, position 1, 2 and 3. Now, at least one of those is a fake. I'm going to ask you guys what one you think is. But with this, there's no end to what part is fake. Sometimes it's the buttons, sometimes it's the movement. I mean, some of them are very, very good.
Wait, so I laid these out. Do you know which one's
Yeah.
fake?
I do.
Are you
Spencer,
sure?
I do.
can I just say, as a newbie,
Yes.
I can't tell out of any of those 3. I mean, they all look pretty good. So how can you actually know for sure? I know you've been doing it a long time, but for me, I could buy all 3 of those and pay someone good money.
One
Well,
of them's genuine.
One of them is
One of them's
100%.
genuine.
But that's what we're here for, Lisa. That's why we ask people to bring watches in. They send them in the post. We check them. I look at them. The watchmakers look at them. We compare them to other pieces. And that's when we give our professional evaluation of what we'll give for a watch.
But you can tell just by looking at those 3
Well, Claire knows.
without touching it or taking it back off or anything else.
Listen, not all the time. I mean, it does. It is a process. It's a. I'd say it's a 4-step process. Sometimes step 1 you'll find out it's a fake. Sometimes we won't get till we'll have to go to step 4
absolutely.
to find out.
Sometimes you'll just look at a watch in a picture, and Claire knows. We always say, "Can we see a picture of the back and the front?" Breitlings with these, not straightforward. Rolexes, because when you handle a watch a lot, it's easy to know a fake. When you're not familiar with the watch, you've got to go more into it. So the watchmakers would take the bracelet off, take the back off, look at the movement, compare on the internet the movements to other watches, then look at the quality. They wind the watch, they feel how the button is, how the winding, and then from that they know. From these aren't obvious. But the other thing is, on a fake watch, they have a very cheap reflective glare. The dial looks very painted.
The writing on the dial.
The writing, the quality of the writing. Often it's not straight. Often it's misspelt. I mean, on a lot of Rolexes, you'll see where they put date just, submarine. Just think obvious things. But on certain pieces, 100%. And when I had jewellery store, people come in all the time, and they come in with the box, and you could struggle, especially for a number of years. Other jewellers and pawnbrokers would send things to us for us to authenticate.
Yeah, we
because
did a lot
if
of
you're
that.
not, if someone's taken staff on who's lending money at other pawnbrokers or trying to buy things, and they don't check them out, easily fall foul of being conned by a fake.
But we used to do loads of them each day. We'd underwrite watches all day long for other businesses because we were trusted to
and
know
a lot of
what
the time we could do it by photographs.
Mm-hmm.
They could just email photographs.
And then other times we'd actually have to handle the piece to know it was.
And sometimes we'd say we need it for 24 hours to fully investigate. I mean, one that's very difficult, Cartiers. Some very good Cartier fakes now. Amigas, Breitlings. To be honest with you, it's the ones that that you see less of that are a concern. I mean, there's an amazing Breitling piece we've got here. I think the obvious ones, when you start moving to the gold are giveaways. That's a waste of time.
It looks a bit yellowy, even to me.
The weight.
The weight. So here we've got some Daytonas. I mean, the white dial is an exceptional quality fake. You've really got to look hard, and that almost fooled one of our watchmakers there. Everything on it's more or less spot on. The detail, the quality, even the finish, the bracelet, it really is a very, very good fake. And here you've got two ridiculous. I mean, the colouring's terrible. The yellow gold one is just
probably the worst we've seen.
So what is it that you're looking for when you look at those two? How is it? I know the one is yellow, but what else?
Just the whole feel of it. The whole feel, the quality, the look, the dial.
Sub-dials.
Just everything. These are really obvious. But some people are fooled by them. And some people will meet someone in a pub car park and they say, listen, mate, I need some money to get home. Give me 300 quid. And they will. They'll change hands. I mean, these are things that are normally sold on the beach. But people will get conned into these because someone who's offered something like this in the wrong place at the wrong time will have no idea. And they think, oh, my God, that's Daytona. But they've never really touched or felt a Daytona.
But wouldn't they realise if it was ridiculously cheap that it's not?
But some people
too good to be true. Then it's not
correct. But the stories, I mean, of what people do and how people get conned, it does happen. It really does happen, and we've seen it many a time with so many things.
Okay, Spencer, you are the expert. What is the most money that you have been conned or duped out of to buy a watch that turned out to not be real?
I'll be honest here. We had a Submariner, and Claire, if you remember this one.
I do remember it.
Yeah. We had a watch come in with everything with it. This was early in the days where we wouldn't necessarily check everything, and we were really busy.
So just
at the
by
time.
looking at it,
we would just look. We would look at the papers. Comes in a nice box. That's it.
And do you look at the person to see if
no, this are coming in the
look
post.
a bit dodgy?
It's a lot easier when you see the person, but often you don't. But because a lot of stuff comes into us by post, and do you remember, Claire, it came in.
Engraving was pretty much spot. Couldn't tell from.
I think it had papers as well. We paid the customer £4,000, and
it wasn't real.
It wasn't real.
So how long did it take to find out?
It went off for a polish. The watchmaker had a look. We then checked over the movement. We got a second opinion, and it was a fake. So a number of years ago, going back to about 2012, the Milgauss had come out with the green glass, which everyone loved, and it was a shop in sort of southeast London. We bought from them a Milgauss with the green glass. So the box come in with papers, beautiful. Bought the piece, and we sold it very quickly. Then the same shop called us a few months later, and he had another one. So we bought the same watch again. And then my watchmaker said, this is the same serial number. So we've all looked.
Sorry, the same serial number as the first
one?
one?
The same serial number as the first one.
Alarm
so obviously, no Rolex, and that's an obvious one, which we then realised.
Yeah.
But we had bought the two. And again, at the time, I think the Milgauss was about £3,000 back in the sort of 2012 this was.
So, sorry, without being like, I don't know anything about watches, is that the shop stitching you up? Did the shop not know how?
Well, again, when we underwrite, so they use us as the professionals. So if they send a watch in and we buy a watch from them, we have authenticated it. That is on our head. So there is no going back to the shop. That's what we do. And this is what we say to viewers. If they send a watch to us and we buy the watch, if it turns out to be a problem, if it's stolen, is a different issue. But if the watch is fake and we've said it's okay. Actually, only last week, wasn't it, Claire? We had a Cellini in.
Yes.
Yes. We had a beautiful Cellini in with stickers, white gold with a white dial.
Mm-hmm.
So the gentleman was thinking of selling it. So he said he's not sure whether he wanted to sell it or he wanted us to do the authenticity. So it came in. He then called us and said he really didn't want us to. He didn't want to sell the watch. He wanted an authenticity check. He also wanted a box.
Oh, I remember this guy
That's
with
right.
the purple strap.
With the
One with
yeah.
the pearl, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually
So we
learning something.
were thinking of buying it. He then told us he wouldn't sell it to us.
Mm-hmm.
So that was then Claire asked our watchmaker. The watch had stickers on it. It was a Cellini, which is the dress version of Rolex. So we've then taken it down to the watchmaker, and it came back. It was fake, wasn't it? Because the watch was brand new, we wanted to be very careful and check the customer was happy with that. We've then taken the back off. It was, he thought, well, the watchmaker said it was steel case. But looked, was the perfect size, the dial was perfect, everything.
Yes, it wasn't obvious.
Not
No.
obvious at all.
No.
And again, had stickers on the watch. So this is the thing, moving forward, 2021, the fakes are going to get better and better.
So
Well,
the
they
people that are
always
making
have.
the fakes are putting stickers on.
Well,
And-
this was the first I'd seen of something with stickers. But the other thing, we have ways of checking the warranty cards where they're fake. There's a hologram in them which we can check. I mean, the other thing which we'll show the viewers in a minute, the boxes, Claire.
Yeah, the boxes can be a telltale from the start.
I mean, what you got to remember is a Rolex watch, the box, everything is of the highest quality.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying at times more for a watch than people do for a car. So the quality of the dial, the print, and everything should be really not even in question. And when we look at them and things are not quite right, or Claire, because she works on repairs, where the screw will be off centre, the slot will be to one end, all of these things is what gives it away. But if you're not handling these pieces every day of the week,
Yeah.
like you say, how would you know? I
Yeah,
mean,
you wouldn't
here
know.
we've got, 100 odd pieces? I mean, we can show some of the other pieces here, the Cartiers, the Panerais, the IWCs. If you don't see something on a regular basis, or someone dresses it up with the right box, and dependent on the person who's selling it, if someone's smartly dressed and they pull someone aside and say, oh, I've just got this piece and I've run into a bit of trouble and I need some money.
Yeah, they got the
It's-
story,
yeah.
they got the look.
Yeah.
But aren't these people better selling some of these fakes on eBay?
Some of these things are sold on
Yeah,
eBay.
where people might be less like me, not know, and think it was very nice and probably be blissfully unaware for many years that it was a fake.
But there is some comebacks with
With PayPal, maybe.
there is comebacks. But these
But you've got to prove it. You've got to prove that.
But
Yeah,
the-
it's
a fake,
difficult. It's
you know, and-
difficult, but then that's where we come in. You know, we're offering the service where we're happy to check watches on behalf of customers to ensure that they aren't getting ripped off or duped or however you want to put it.
But Claire, you see on repairs, you're often asked on repairs, can you repair this watch? And say, sorry, we don't work. The watches are fake.
Yeah,
So it happens all the. I mean,
all the time.
there's thousands, absolutely tens of thousands of all these different things.
A lot of people out to get you.
So the other thing we have is fake boxes. There are many a fake box the whole time. So here, Claire, if you want to do the unboxing there. So we have the first box. Everyone happy with that? And
I'm
then
happy
we
with
have box number 2. What do you think, Claire? Well, that was
No, it's
Lisa?
definitely.
Only the colour. To me, the colour of the
Well,
inside
look
is
at-
different,
and
but
the
I don't know
insides?
which one is right and which one is not right.
So Rolex actually did do a box in this colour, but not in the same tone, not in the same quality. This one is the fake one, and this is a genuine.
2 green boxes there. The beige one is the new 2015-2016 box where they drop the lid down to put all the papers in. This was a nightmare for years, putting them in. Everyone put the booklets in, especially on the smaller, on the smaller one there at the end, you put the booklets out.
And you couldn't get them out.
You couldn't get them out. You needed a knife or a pair of tweezers. It was a nightmare. But the one in the middle there is a poor one we made earlier, probably at a kid's school.
It looks like a crushed velvet kind
It's
of
a
thing,
crushed
yeah.
velvet.
Okay,
The
now I
quality,
see.
it's peeling. If you see inside there, I don't know if viewers can see that. Also, the outer box is just poor. Just the print. I mean, there we go, Claire, if we put those two up together. It's just all about quality. But again, we get a lot of photographs of this sort of thing, and it's just obvious from the start. You're not going to get a genuine watch in a fake box.
Never?
Never. Never. I say never. Someone may have both and may put a genuine. But generally, it's a bit of a process, like you said, Claire. You go through the pointers. If the box is fake, if the papers, sometimes things are over-engineered looking to be too good. I mean, another thing that we see on a lot of watches, and I'm not sure we can show you here, is the 750 mark. You have stainless steel watches, which 750, so Claire knows from her jewellery days, 750 is 18 karat gold. You don't have steel watches that are 18 karat gold, white gold. And this is the thing that goes on the whole time. They're constantly trying to make something look better than it is.
Mm-hmm.
Trying too hard.
We're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Claire, remember if you went back in the day where people were worried about a fake, and if you took something into one of the ADs in Cartiers, I mean, we've heard of this.
Yeah, well, you'd either never get it back, or they'd completely strip the dial of anything. You know, crown would come off, or they'd just smash it. Or
Same with Cartiers. I mean, it is a serious infringement of copyright. And if someone were caught with many a fakes, they want to know. They think you're doing a racket trying to produce the watches.
In some countries, you get caught with a counterfeit, it's jail time.
Yeah.
Well, what if someone passed it on to you and you... I mean, I'd be mortified if I went into a shop and someone smashed up the watch in front of me.
You're
Well,
absolutely correct.
it
But
was
you
my
might be asked.
grandma's watch
You'll be
or-
asked where you got it from.
Yeah, but it could have got... I mean, some people are genuinely... I don't believe they've all knowingly trying to dupe someone with a fake. They've, it's been handed down or...
Absolutely.
Some
I do
people
think
are
they stopped
innocent.
doing that, though, didn't
yes,
they? They
yeah.
did stop doing
But
it.
they would definitely confiscate or smash or destroy a watch.
But not anymore.
And if we go back in the day, years ago, you used to have mechanical watches where it'd be quartz and it would tick and you wouldn't hear it. Now with the automatic movements where you actually can feel that it's an automatic movement, you can feel the movement in it. So again, to most people, that will make them feel a lot more genuine.
Yeah,
with
after
this.
a while, they learnt how to make an automatic movement.
But people who do want to trick someone will go and buy a genuine box and they'll dress a watch up and get the booklets and pass it on.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to do. There's loads
But
of
we
empty
used to get
boxes
people
on
in the
eBay.
shops. Remember, you would always get an old couple come in, oh, I need to raise some money for my son, he's in trouble, and these sort of stories. Where
Did you believe them?
Well, you would
Yeah,
believe
you
them.
would.
You really would.
If they're an older couple, maybe.
Yeah.
That didn't look suspect.
Yeah. And that's what people would. That's what people would do.
Clever.
Yeah.
And they got away with it a few times.
Absolutely. So Lisa, remember when you first came to me, you said, I hope in the office I'm not someone who comes and likes to be bored. That was your opening line to me.
I did say that, and I said, don't let me get bored, because I won't work there very
and
long.
tell me
I've never worked so hard in my life, paid so many people, bought in watches, had piles of paperwork, things to do, people coming in, don't know if you're coming or going.
It's non-stop,
It's
isn't it?
crazy. I never knew or had any idea. I've got my mouth open that I'm so shocked about the world of watches, how many different watches, what people know about watches. They're asking me about colours of hands. I didn't know there was even different colours of hands, and it's still, I've got a lot to learn, but I'm enjoying it.
No,
and I'm
you're-
not bored.
You would think every day's sort of the same,
No,
same thing.
not
but
bored.
It's
Every
day's
well,
different.
that's exactly. People say sort of what's gone on or what did you. Every day is a different
Every
day
day's different.
on repairs or watches that come in or questions or the people who are coming to see us.
And it's under pressure because people are waiting sometimes for money or for you to decide if you're going to buy their watch, and sometimes more than one person, and it's manic.
And
So
also, there's, I won't sit here and pretend to know everything. There's always something new to learn. There's always...
But you two guys do pretty much know everything.
Not everything.
Not
But I will
Pretty
always.
much between you, I feel
Well,
like
I
one
will,
of you would
I
I
know
will
the
often say
answer.
to Claire, when did this come out, or when was this produced, or I haven't seen, or that dial was discontinued. But there's
Sometimes
always
I know the answer.
No, but you
There's-
know the model numbers. You know what they are.
Yeah,
Have
we know the
still
model
not
numbers,
the
but
foggiest idea.
but
It's
there's
taken a
new
while.
model numbers. I don't know all of the new Oyster Perpetual model numbers now. There's always something. Yeah, some of the older ones. You remember 16610 or the 116610 Submariner? We've been handling that watch since 1989. It's been around for 30 years, and even the newer one's been around for 10 years. The GMTs, the 1675, 16750, the 1160, we've handled them for 20, 30 years.
You
so
must
that's
think
why.
we're crazy. We sit there in the office and I'll shout numbers at you.
That
like
means
116,
nothing. Means nothing to
200.
me.
Can I have a price?
Unless you say it's a Submariner or it's a day date or something, I
Well,
still no idea.
I mean, 69173s, Claire. So the 173 is the bimetal ladies' date just from 1988 to about 2007.
69173. Yep, till about 2007.
Seven.
No, sorry.
Earlier.
69173 from
no.
late 80s.
Late 80s to early
Till-
2000, and that was superseded with the 79173.
In about 98
98. So that was sort of on an A-reg with a new movement.
until
Then you had a
2004.
179, 173, which came out, which ran to about 2018, 2019, and we've now got the one. I'll stop there.
Caught you
I'll
out.
Stop there. So, guys, if you've got any great stories or situations that have happened to you about fake watches, please mention them in the comments below. And if they're really good, we'll invite you on the show. So, Claire, let's tell the viewers here about our processes and what we do regarding our watch packs.
So people can come and visit us in our office, or we send out one of our watch packs. They're fully insured for up to 25,000. Additional insurance, if necessary, of course. Contains Royal Mail special delivery bags that are prepaid by us, so no charge to the customer. These will come into us the following day from them sending it, and we will price it the very same day. Give them a call and potentially have the money in their account that day also. So
That's where I come in.
yeah, that's where Lisa comes in, gets the customer paid.
Can I just say also, in lockdown, I think the watch pack's been invaluable because people can't come in, right?
Yeah,
They don't want to come in. They're sending the watch.
Yeah.
They don't have to
Yeah.
leave the house. They go to the post office, and they
get
don't
their
have to have
receipt.
contact with anyone. They're not seeing anyone. They're not putting themselves at danger, and then they get the money same day.
Absolutely. I mean, we believe that we are the quickest in the business. If you call us on a Monday, a watch pack will be with you Tuesday morning. If that goes in the post on Tuesday, we are guaranteed. Our post is guaranteed by 9 o'clock. So that'll be 9 o'clock on the Wednesday. Claire, you check the watch. The watchmakers will go over that. So by midday on the Wednesday, we will then be phoning customers with an offer.
Yep.
So literally from start to finish, it can be 48, 72 hours. And Lisa, you know, you're responsible for paying everyone on a daily basis.
Yeah, and people are always amazed how quick and how easy.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to be paid quickly, Lisa's the one you need to speak to. Right, guys, so we're going to move on. We get rid of these fakes now because that's pretty irrelevant. There we go. Okay, so we got a few shout-outs. John from Liverpool, who has been a repeat offender with us. He bought a couple of lovely watches last week, and a pleasure to deal with him. We've also had Lewis, who's got numerous watches, and we've done a few repairs for him. That's Lewis from Bushy. We've also got Keith from Oxford. We got Jamie from Cornwall, Marcus from Kent, and Michael from Southampton. That's just a few of the customers that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. But thank you, everyone who transacts with us, calls us, questions, and thank you for subscribing to this channel. So, girls, if I said to you, open checkbook, what watch? Your holy grail, Claire. Anything. Basically, I'm going to get you
Open
whatever you
checkbook.
want. Open checkbook.
Well, it'd have to be the Nautilus, wouldn't it?
What
Blue
one?
dial Nautilus. The 7.
Oh, the 5711 that we had in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive one I can think about on the
Especially
spot.
the fact that it's been discontinued
Yeah.
now as well.
And
Absolutely.
prices have
Oh, well,
skyrocketed.
Patek's ridiculous. Lisa, what about you? I mean, you
Yeah.
said you're not phased by watches.
No, there was one watch. A guy came in with a green. He had a thing about green.
That's right.
The watch had to be green. It was green on the outside, green on the strap.
I remember
he maybe even a green face.
Yes, it was green on the rubber.
It was
the
an Audemars
Aquanaut.
Piguet.
No, Patek.
Patek, that's
Patek
it. See, I'm
Philippe.
learning.
Patek
Patek,
Philippe.
and I think it was plus 50 grand. I can't remember.
Yes,
It's a lot of money.
yes.
That one, please.
It was the Patek
I'll have that one.
Aquanaut with the
Yeah.
green dial.
That was
yes.
that
It was the white
actually
gold.
Was
the
stunning.
white gold.
No, stunning.
I remember the customer said he had a few watches to part exchange, and he said, "You've got 2 weeks to get me the watch," and he gave us a figure. And we had to go and get the watch, and otherwise we couldn't transact.
But
with
it
him.
was stunning.
That was early. That was good for you. I think it was about September.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been an expensive day for Spencer.
Like I said, I've just mentioned what would be your holy grail.
Yes.
I haven't said it's possible to get them for you today,
No.
but it's
Why
always
not?
interesting.
Christmas bonus.
Well, wait, okay, we've got a year to go. We'll see what we can do. Right, girls, we're out of time for this week. So that's episode 3, Don't Take the Fake. I hope you enjoyed that today. Same time, same place next week.